start recording, and we will get right into the cast. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. This is the Overwatch tournament number 2. Insert your sponsors here. We have Team NotEnigma going up against Fnantic here. NotEnigma, of course, hosting Enigma himself, Macerar, Oplade, Seagull, Clockwork, and Harblu, and they'll be locking up their heroes and deciding their composition as we get closer to the beginning of this game. On the side of Fnantic, we have RaptorZ, Too Easy, Morte, Unfixed, Wing Heaven, and Stefan. And of course, I am RaptorZ, and I'll be bringing you guys the commentary for today's game and today's match. We'll have a second one after this. Of course, this is using stopwatch, so the team with the shortest time to complete the match, if both teams complete, or the team to advance the farthest on the map, will be the team to win the map point. So it looks like on the offense here, we're going to be getting an interesting strategy. It's getting closer to the timer. We'll see if they actually lock this up finally. But on the defense, we have RaptorZ going to be picking up the McCree. Too Easy on his Reaper Morte, and Unfixed picking up the double Lucio as they love to play Winghaven on his infamous Reinhardt. And of course, Stefan is going to be picking up the Winston. And it looks like as we get closer to the timer, the offense from Hubris, or not even, sorry, from the last cast, I apologize, the offense, or defense is Fnantic. Offense being NotEnigma. We're going to have Enigma himself on his Zarya, Macerar once again on the Reinhardt, Oplade playing the Lucio as always, Seagull as the damage source being the Pharah, Clockwork is the second one on the Reaper, and then Harblu on his Mercy. So here we go right into the game. The offense is pushing through. They've gotten through the gates. It looks like Stefan's going to go ahead and push forward. Barriers are down, so there's not much protection for them. Seagull's going to jump into the air, start getting a decent amount of damage. Harblu damage boosting him up, and we'll see if they can actually get any picks here to get onto the point. Quite a bit of damage going on to both sides. Is not really a lot happening. It's being healed up, and looks like the fight is really spread out into these skirmishes. The offense is kind of spread out in the back and the front. Seagull going to get focused down, actually going to go ahead and die, and the offense is getting mopped here, or defense is getting mopped up here by the offense as they're just able to spread them out and pick them apart. It looks like the Zarya really did a lot, and Seagull, he was just so aggressive and able to get in that flank and do quite a bit of damage on the back line, and it really, really had a large impact on the way the defense was able to hold that point. So we're going to be moving into the second section of the map. Of course, this is a hybrid map for King's Row, so this will be a payload from here on out, and Clockwork's going to be running into Winghaven, trying to get through the barrier, do some damage. He takes quite a bit and almost eats a flashbang. Barely Wraith forms out and gets out alive, and the defense is going to set up here in the corridor and try to stop any advances and eat some of this clock away, as there's really a lot of time left here to work with. And there we go, the High Noon's going to be going out behind the Winston barrier. They have the defense sound barrier, the offensive sound barrier as well, and this is going to get pretty hectic here as we have a Graviton Surge available from Zarya. Look for her to use it, as she's going to be looking at 3-4 heroes. She's going to be lobbing some shots over to the right. Enigma doing quite a bit of damage here. We'll see if they're able to get the point any farther here, as they are zoning back the defense quite a bit. Enigma really getting in the faces of Fnantic. They're not able to stop him. They really do want to kind of get their feet under them, but they really can't seem to answer this aggression that Enigma's coming out. And there's the Reaper going to go ahead and back off, and once again the self-barrier pushing hard, and the payload is moving unobstructed. We're 6 minutes left on the clock here, and NotEnigma's been able to get exactly as far as they went to. Winghaven with the charge. It's going to do quite a bit of damage to the Earthshatter. It's actually absorbed by that split-second barrier that Macerar pours out, and his Earthshatter is going to hit 2. 3. He's going to hit 2 with the charge. Double resurrection. Fights reset. We're down to 3 ultimates on both sides. We'll see how it goes down. There's the Death Blossom coming out of the off defense. Going to not do too much damage, actually. Clockwork going down. Winghaven's falling on the defense. And there's the Graviton Surge hitting on 3-4. And Seagull with the Rocket Barrage that's cleaning up all of the defensive side. And there you go. NotEnigma going to be pushing in. And what a synergy coming out of Seagull and Enigma there. The patience Enigma had it that entire Streets phase. He was sitting on that Graviton Surge, sitting on max energy, and right then and there, when they saw that moment, they clicked. And that was beautiful to watch. Of course, that split-second barrier from Macerar, he saw that Winghaven was cocking back for the Earthshatter, and he just instantly put up that barrier, blocking the stun. And just overall, NotEnigma is clicking so well here in the Streets phase, but this is where it becomes really hard. We're on to the last section. Defense is going to have a closer spawn, and they're going to go ahead and push up. There's a charge going to be doing quite a bit of damage. It looks like the offense is going to back off a bit, try to spread out here, get a concave, see if they can get the better positioning. And they are going to actually, forcing the defense back. They kind of cave to the pressure that's going out here. And there we go. Offense going to push back out. Clockwork flanking around here with his... No, never mind. Yeah, he is going to... It's not Clockwork. It is Clockwork. And the offense is really just dominating the payload. The defense keeps trying to push up and get these flanks, it seems like, but they're not able to actually do enough, and Death Blossom is up on Clockwork as he's going to look into use it, and there's the barrier and the Death Blossom doing quite a bit of damage. Morte and 2easy are going to go down. That's the resurrection down for the defense, and we might see the end of the end of the first half here is NotEnigma is just so much pressure and presumption so far in this match. They're doing exactly what they want to Fnatic, and Winghaven doesn't want this game to end. He's going to go ahead and hit on the point. What an Earth Shatter is going to hit 4, but the Graviton Surge trying to cancel it out. Winghaven is going to charge out of it. Mace Roars are on the point. Stefan going to jump on it. There's the counter Graviton Surge coming out from the defense, but it doesn't do that much. The resurrection from Harblue going to bring back up Clockwork, and they're going to fight. Offensive sound barrier going to allow them to keep pushing in and fight here. Stefan with that barrier from Zarya is going to continue to try to fight here as the defensive sound barrier goes off as well, and the defense seems to have spread out the offense. Picking off, Voltage is actually the only one to die here, as once again Harblue and Seagull in their tandem going to be doing quite a bit of damage. Seagull up and above, and there's the Rocket Barrage. There's no check to this. He's doing quite a bit of damage. He's already taken out 3, 4, 5 heroes, and that's going to be the end of the first match. And wow, Seagull, what a player. Him and Enigma just synergizing so well. We'll see probably that Graviton Surge with the 5-man Rocket Barrage is the play of the game with Seagull, or that last Rocket Barrage. But man, what a series, or a game coming out of NotEnigma here. And there it is, Seagull just doing absolute disgusting amounts of damage here, and he gets right up close and personal. No chance of dodging this, and 2easy tries to shoot him down, but Harblue's got his back and healing him up, and there you go. The first game is going to go ahead and be coming to a close here. That was quite an exciting match. Seagull really carrying his team there. Enigma, of course, being the support tandem there without his Graviton Surges, without the constant barriers. Again, every single time that an ultimate was going off for the side of NotEnigma, the Zarya always is making sure that there's a barrier ready to go for them so that they can get maximum amount effect out of it. And thank you so much, guys, for stopping by and tuning into this. I really appreciate it. These are the only clean and raw VODs that I could find. They were from the early closed beta, so there's no kill feed, but hope that these practice casts make it so it's easier for me going into launch, and you guys actually enjoy watching these the weekend before the tournament comes out, since there's not too much going around as we're all just waiting. But here we go. It's going to be round 2. I don't exactly recall the time to set, but it was a really, really short time. The offense is going to have to be almost uninhibited for the entirety of the match, because that's how it went for NotEnigma. They really only, it felt like, for a good 20-30 seconds in that game, only had one person or no person on the payload. So again, doing a very good job of using 2 or 3 heroes to zone away from the payload while having a core set of heroes on the payload. The thing is with payloads, you can only have 3 heroes pushing it at any given time. If you have 4, yes, it says 4, but the rate at which the payload moves does not exceed 3 heroes movement or additional movement to the payload. So you really want to flex out those additional heroes to give the 3 that are on the payload more space, more time, and allows the payload to move up farther. So we'll see if NotEnigma here can go ahead and hold as effectively as they were able to push. So on the side of the offense, or sorry, defense, as their heroes would be more set in stone, we have NotEnigma. Enigma himself championing that Zarya again, and what some disgusting Graviton Surges and barriers from him. Harblue on the Mercy was on point last game. Oplade once again picking up that Mercy. Clockwork on his Reaper. Seagull on that Pharah. The last game pretty much dominated the entirety of the offensive game. And Mace Rar with his clutch and always around his teammates, Reinhardt. We have the offense, of course, Fnatic unfixed on the Lucio. Winghaven on his famous Reinhardt himself, actually. Stefan on the on a Vera this time instead of something like a Winston. 2easy on his Zarya. Morte on his Mercy, as he's known for, and Volataja, known as one of the best McCrees in the world at this point in time. So looks like 54 seconds was the cap on the first time that on the first point. So definitely a hard time to beat here, but we'll see how it goes. The offense, Winghaven pushing up, using that barrier to zone. The defense is spread out. They don't really want to give away too much positioning. Spam going out from both teams. It looks like there's a bit of a scuffle off into the left building. Not too much getting done there, though, as both teams, again, just throwing out damage and spam, trying to build up those ultimates. Stefan going to go ahead and try to get the verticality, win that war of the high ground. But Seagull, he's going to be winning it for now. Raining down rockets from above. Winghaven, 2easy. Stefan pushing in, trying to get on the payload. They're trying to get that first third. Every single tick you get, it won't reduce past that, so it's very critical to get that. It looks like Seagull's actually hunting the backline. He's going to be able to find, or Seagull, sorry, Stefan is hunting Clockwork in the backline. He was pretty far pushed up there, and it looks like Enigma's going to be doing the same thing with the Mace Roar. And they've pushed back Stefan, so he was able to get down Clockwork, but here we go between him and Seagull. A little bit of a fight, scuffle. Seagull goes ahead and backs off and cedes back to his team, and it looks like already the first attempts out of Fnatic is just not effective. There he goes, Lucio speed boost, and Winghaven's actually going to finish that, or combo that off with the charge. Too easy, pushing in. There's the Earth Shatter. It's absorbed by the the barrier once again, and every single time Mace Roar sees that Earth Shatter, he's ready to pop the barrier. In the background, it looks like Clockwork is able to take out Volataja, and there's the Justice raining from above as he gets canceled by Seagull. Not doing that much. There's the Graviton Surge coming out from Too Easy. It's doing quite a bit of damage as they're trying to pick off as many as they can. Opalade's down. Morte and Voltage are still down on the offense here, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty even scuffle as Mace Roar is able to get the charge and take out Winghaven 4. Now down on the offense as Stefan falls as well, and it is not looking good for Fnatic on this first point. Unfixed is going to die here at the end as well, so they're going to need to take an extra second here to regroup to be able to continue to fight in this game and get this first point. So what an interesting turn of events. This first point is not really strictly easy to hold. There's a lot of variability in the way you can go about it. Here's the High Noon though coming out of Volataja. He's looking to get quite a few heroes here. He's going to be, oh no, a Wraith form from Clockwork, and there's the Graviton Surge. It only hits on Too Easy, but Seagull's going to combo that up with the Rocket Barrage regardless. He's throwing it out, but direct Rocket from Seagull plus Unfixed Lucio spam is going to be able to take out Seagull, and now Stefan's going to push up himself, doing quite a bit of damage, pushing on to Enigma, and there's Mace Roar's own Earth Shatter hitting on 2. He's going to die himself, but he does clean up Unfixed. Morte and Volataja falling as well, and once again, NotEnigma able to stabilize and hold on this point, and not a single tick has been taken by the offense here. So Fnatic unable to get that third tick, and unfortunately they're just not, either their composition or the way they're going about trying to take this point just isn't working for them. They need to vary something up here and change it up, but they're going to go ahead and rush in again. Same hero comp with that speed boost. Winghaven using the barrier, trying to absorb as much as he can. He uses the Earth Shatter. There's the High Noon from Volataja, but the barrier is there for Mace Roar. He's going to charge. Volataja does get the High Noon off. It doesn't do that much damage. Only Mace Roar is going to be down, or Winghaven's going to be down so far, and there's the Graviton Surge coming out. Stefan's going to combo it up, and that's going to be a massive fight. Harblu, Opalade, Clockwork, Seagull, Mace Roar, all of the defense is going to be going down, and once I started saying something needed to change, Fnatic goes, no, nothing needs to change, we just need to play better, and man, did they play better. What a good combination. That'll be the first point, and here we go into the second stage of King's Row on to the Streets phase, as it's known, and Too Easy going to go ahead and push up, try to zone, buy time for that payload to get pushed uninhibited. But Clockwork doesn't want any of that. He's going to be flanking. He's crouched up to hide his footsteps. Mace Roar charging into Winghaven. Going to be pushing the defense back, trying to group them up for this Death Blossom that they're trying to spring. The defense corralling the offense onto the payload, and here we go. It looks like the flank's going to happen. Volataja. There's the Graviton Surge. They're not ready for this. The Death Blossom going to happen. He's going to go for Morte first. Resurrection goes off. He's looking for Stefan. He's going to get Stefan. There's the Sound Barrier. He's looking for more. Volataja going to get taken out by the Rocket Barrage from Seagull, and this flank play coming out of NotEnigma. What a great set of, how do you say, they really thought this out, having the 4 heroes push out, and there's the Death Blossom on the spawn. It's not going to do that much, actually. He does get resurrected on the spot. They're going to continue to attempt to spawn camp here. Not exactly the best decision, and one can say, but wow, what an absolutely crazy game. And I guess they're going to go ahead and call that, since there's almost no way that they can go ahead and actually make it to the next point. So I wasn't sure about the length of these VODs. And in total, they total both games, if you want to say matches, total of 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do the second game here, guys. Get you I guess 2 more games. Going to be uploading this as one whole VOD. It's same teams, same map, just a different match. So we'll see how it goes. First on the offense, again though, is going to be NotEnigma here. We have Opalade on the Lucio. Mace Roar going to be picking up an offensive Symmetra. Definitely a different strategy here. Seagull once again on his Pharah, Harblu on his Mercy. Enigma going to be picking up the Enigma going to be picking up the Clockwork. This isn't Dota. Enigma going to be picking up the Diva, and Clockwork going to be on his Reaper. And over on the defense, we have Esper picking up his famous Mercy. Chump going to be picking up, actually no, this is Hubris. I apologize, not Fnatic. Chump going to be picking up the Winston. Tailspin is going to be playing the Pharah. We have CoolMat69 on his Reaper. Ross picking up the Niche Roadhog and Minstrel on his Lucio. So here we go, guys. NotEnigma going to be looking to have a similar aggressive tempo set match where they really get in the faces of their opponent and dictate how the game goes down. As we see Macerar pushing up. Enigma going to be using that spam from Zarya. Hasn't used his barriers yet. Still looking to find a good opportunity to do it. He's looking for his teammates that are taking damage. And there we go. Tailspin boosting in. Going to be using his rockets. Esper is taking a bit of damage, but he is going to go ahead and continue to damage boost on to Tailspin, who's going to get taken out by 2 direct rockets by Seagull. Great aiming by him, and now Seagull going to continue to do more damage. Healing coming out of a Hard Blue as he's going to keep Enigma up. Now going to top off Macerar, and wow, the defense just absolutely getting manhandled here by NotEnigma. They got up close, got a personal Macerar once again on his Reinhardt. He really does know how to get in people's faces, use the barriers at the right time. We saw in the last game with Fnantic, every single time that Winghaven was going for his Earth Shatters, the quick barrier would stop it and save his team. But again, Macerar just positioning very well, and Seagull with just disgusting aim with that with those fair rockets. And here we go again into the streets phase of King's Row. His rockets are going to come flying out, trying to break the barrier of Chump as he's going to back up to let it heal. Hook is negated by Zarya. Barriers from Zarya block every single stun while it is active, so it will prevent anything that can happen. And I'm going to go ahead and fix that for you. I'm sorry, Angry Panda. I will fix that for you in just a second after this game. And they're going to go ahead and push up into the point here, the streets phase. Macerar on the point, 4 or 5 of them on the point. They're really grouped on it. There we go. Seagull's going to boost up into the air, trying to fight for dominance against Tailspin, and he's going to win it once again with the better rockets in midair. Macerar with the charge onto Twump. He's going to go flying into the air. There's the first sound break going down, and the Earth Shatter not doing that too much for Macerar, but they are going to go ahead and push up with Clockwork. He has the Death Blossom. He's looking to use it, but Seagull going to take out Cool Mat. That was, I apologize. And Clockwork still sitting on his ultimate. 3 ultimates coming out from the side of the offense as they have the Resurrection, they have the Barrage, and they have the Death Blossom. Cool Mat himself, you're going to be using his, or have his own Death Blossom and Minstrel with the Sound Barrier. So here we go, Enigma. Backing up, doesn't want to get caught out. That's one thing that professional teams are really good about, is sticking together and trying not to get caught out. It will happen, always does, but you have to be conscious about it consistently. And Esper and Tailspin going to try to combo up here and control the skies, and Tailspin's going really far forward. He does have a rocket barrage. It looks like he wants to use it. Chump going to go down in the background. He didn't actually get too much off there. 4 down on the offense as they're actually getting quite a bit done. Chump, once again, using the zoning charge. We saw this in the first cast I did. Chump is really good about pushing out and making the enemy team think about him and deal with him. And that just created so much space right there for Tailspin to get so many direct rockets, and really didn't need the rocket barrage. Esper is still sitting on the ultimates, but the scary part is the offense has 5 of their 6 ultimates up, so this will be a very critical fight for the defense as Seagull gets picked off by Tailspin with amazing rockets for long distance. Those are 2 direct rockets, and that's not what you need to see. Clockwork and Cool Mat 69 going at it. Reaper v Reaper, and Clockwork's going to go down. The offense, unfortunately, just having a series of events that they really don't want to see at all. This is exactly what you don't want to have happen to you when you're looking to push in on this final point when the offense is spotting so close. Another one going to go, Cool Mat's going to push up really far and end up going down. But again, offense is sitting on 5 ultimates. Zarya, 50 charge, pushing up. Enigma really wants to look for a Graviton Search. He sees a lot of heroes grouped up here. You can hear them on comms, calling it. There we go. She sees it. Pushing on to Tailspin, pushing out. They have multiple heroes on them. Cool. Clockwork going to be getting that barrier up, and the spam's going out. Defense is spread out there, aware of the Graviton Surge based on the positioning that's coming out from Zarya as the offense is grouped up, pushing in for the final point here. There's only there is 6 minutes remaining, so more than enough time. But again, these 5 ultimates are going to be huge. Macerar charging in, trying to set up the fight. Ross will barely get nicked by it, but not do too much. Chumps, Earth Shatter not doing too much, but Ross does go down. Mistral's going to go down. Rocket Barrage from Seagull. Resurrection coming out from the defense. And there's the offensive. The Graviton Surge going out on the defense. It's going to hit 3. There's the Sound Barrier onto the offense, and that looks like it's going to be the end for Hubris. As what an offensive push there at the end. Chump's going to try to do what he can at the end, and so is Minstrel, but with so many heroes from NotEnigma flooding on the point at the end. Wow. The back-to-back Earth Shatters and the back-to-back Resurrections, but that Graviton Surge, right as they were all respawning, Enigma understands, Enigma understands that at that time, you really do need to just use it the second the enemy team is grouping up for the fight. Because when an enemy team is thinking about how to win a fight, they tend not to care about positioning as much. When it's the same thing as MOBAs. When an enemy team is pushing into you and trying to initiate or start something, they naturally group up because they want to stay together to have more effect with their combos, abilities, and synergies. So, again, just great understanding there from Enigma, and that's going to be the first half of the map. We'll go into the second part and see if Hubris is able to beat that time. But once again, NotEnigma, which is so much pressure on the first half, really getting their game together and doing a good job keeping the payload moving. Sorry about that, guys. Just drinking a quick sip of water. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in so far. I've really enjoyed these casts. I really enjoy doing them. I hope you guys do. And I hope it kind of fills over that that need to see more Overwatch before the game comes out. I know that I'm in that boat as well. And yeah, once again, Angry Panda, I apologize. I will tune Mobot going into launch. I feel like you were not spamming at all. You were definitely being constructive and helpful, and I really appreciate the tips. I'll definitely take more note of them towards the end of this cast after I'm done with the recording. But let's move into the second part of the second match here, as we have, again, NotEnigma versus Hubris. On the side of the defense, NotEnigma is going to hope to have the same quality of defense that they had offense. Enigma himself going to be playing a McCree. Different than what we normally see from him. We have Clockwork on the Reaper. He is going to go ahead and switch up here. Yep, there's the Zarya from him. Oblade on the Lucio. Harblu going to be picking up the Mercy. Seagull on the Pharaoh, once again doing disgusting amounts of justice to the enemy team in that last game. And Racerar on his Reinhardt has been an absolute star for his team in these last two matches. And on the offense, we have Hubris, once again, Tailspin, going to be playing a little bit of a different damage hero here on a Reaper. They're going to have Coolmat switching to a McCree for the offense, running a double Lucio with Esper and Mistral. Trump, once again, on the Winston, and we'll see what Ross locks up here for the final hero of the offense. But we'll see, once again, NotEnigma's offenses have always been centered around this, it seems like this idea of synergy with aggression. And in any competitive game or any competitive activity, there's this idea of tempo and asking the questions. And NotEnigma does a really good job of asking the enemy team, what are you going to do with this? We're going to push. How are you going to respond? And they always get that next answer quicker because they're asking the first question. So they do a good job controlling that presumption. We actually have Ross on a Diva here. Completely different. They're going to be pushing out really fast here again with that presumption, that aggro. Really wanting to get on the point. They have 5 heroes on it. Diva going to be using the defense matrix, pushing forward. Winston barrier going down as 4 or 5 heroes of the offense are going to be on the point. 3 of them going down, though, as the offense looks to be cleaned up. Seagull and Maceor are both going down. No resurrections up at this point. It's very early on in the game. Defense matrix, again, from Ross, trying to do quite a bit, but NotEnigma following, staying behind Enigma, and Clockwork going to be pushing forward and able to stop the offense's first advance. So while I did love that aggression coming out of Hubris, it just wasn't as well coordinated. They didn't get any initial picks. They didn't coordinate their fire. It seemed like they didn't do enough damage to really get a kill to be able to solidify that. So we'll see how they do going into the next match here, or the next fight here, as they have a sound barrier to push in. Diva going to be pushing in. That's Ross trying to push Seagull, do quite a bit of damage. She's hurting him up, zoning him out, pushing him out of the window into the sky, as he's going to push all the way back towards their spawn, and the offense is actually getting the first third of the tick, as they have 3 heroes on it. They're cleaning up the offense. 4 or 5 down total. Enigma just respawning, and Clockwork is going to go ahead and back off, and there you go. With that aggression, able to set the tempo, able to make it really hard for NotEnigma to answer the question properly, and now Tailspin just going straight into the aggro. He is going to go ahead and have to use the Wraith Form to get away from the Zarya, trying to run, escape to his team, but that pick on Harblu is going to make this next hold in here really hard. Harblu has not yet been able to farm up that resurrection. It's going to make it extremely difficult for them to hold in the street phase, because the resurrection is going to be coming up on Esper really soon, and I imagine that Harblu is definitely a bit behind. The Reaper v Reaper battle going to go to Clockwork here, as he's able to take down Tailspin, and the defense will have a little bit of more breathing room there, as they're not having to worry about any flanks or anything of that nature. And here we go into a Graviton Surge, followed up by a Rocket Barrage on the 4 heroes. 5 heroes on the offense is going to be going down here, as what a disgusting synergy. Again, coming out of Enigma and Seagull, the amount of coordination these two players have at that moment when they strike is just absolutely beautiful to watch. And that's going to clean up that push. Now ticking down to 5.5 minutes on the point. It's going to be much harder for Hubris to go ahead and match the time that NotEnigma was able to do the first first leg of this map. So we'll see if they can recover here. And there's going to be a Death Blossom coming out of Tailspin, another one coming out of Clockwork because he was able to flank. It's doing quite a bit of damage. He's on to Ross. He's getting tagged up a bit himself. He was able to take out 3, it looks like, with that. Resurrection is going to be coming out onto the offense from Harblu. That's going to make it very hard for the offense to actually continue to push here. There's the D.Va ultimate, but it doesn't get anyone from the defense. And again, NotEnigma just holding strong here, staying together, using their abilities well, and Clockwork with that flank, his Death Blossom doing a lot more than Tailspin. It seemed like his Death Blossom actually canceled Tailspin's. So Clockwork definitely having the one up there on the individual plays. We'll see Chump going ahead to push up here with his barrier, trying to create space for his team to zone, and the charge coming in, the Graviton Surge with the Rocket Barrage. Again, Seagull and Enigma! A 5-6 man Graviton Surge doing so much damage to the side of Hubris. This is just absolutely amazing to watch, this kind of synergy. Doing this in any match is absolutely beautiful and amazing to have to do. But in a competitive match, doing it, it has this whole nother level of just like, wow, that was amazing to see. So absolutely amazing to see Enigma and Seagull clicking so well on all cylinders. But the payload is going to be pushing up again. They used a lot of their ultimates to win that fight, so they're not going to be able to take too much of a concerted fight in the next one, and they end up losing 3 heroes, and this is going to cost them. They used a lot of resources. The offensive sound barriers giving quite a bit of room for Hubris to push in. 3 heroes are going to be respawning back on the side of the defense. Harblu is going to be running in with his Resurrection, but Seagull and Mace for our Enigma, only 3 left on the payload, are going to end up going down. And there we go, Hubris getting themselves together, going to push into the point, and actually able to cap onto the second checkpoint. The Streets phase moving inside to the last phase here is actually Clockwork had pushed in quite a bit there, trying to get a few kills. Coolmet's now going to be using that High Noon. Not going to get anyone, though, as the defense was able to back off pretty effectively. Macerar charging in, trying to zone, playing really aggressively. He's on the payload while the rest of his team is really far out, but it looks like they are just going to go ahead and call GG, as that was a close enough time to end up getting it. And man, what an absolutely crazy game coming out of the 2 teams there. And once again, just Enigma and Seagull with absolutely disgusting synergy, able to time out the Graviton Surge and the Rocket Barrage so perfectly. But you know, Seagull, the one thing he does really well is he doesn't pounce until the last possible moment, where it would be like he does it within the first second of Graviton Surge, but he's not out there until the first second, and he gets super close, and he always gets vertical so that the Reinhardt would have to physically look up to absorb all the barrage, but he's not going to have enough time to do that. They're already going to lose a few more heroes. And what an absolutely amazing game coming out of NotEnigma and Seagull with this 5-6 man Graviton Surge Rocket Barrage. What a deserved play of the game for sure. Might have gone to Enigma in another world, but here we go. 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's just absolutely disgusting. And yeah, that was such a fun match to cast. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. I really enjoy it. I really hope that these casts can help fill the downtime, and that you guys enjoy them themselves, and hopefully oh no, we don't want to do that. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. But if you enjoy this content, please check out my YouTube at it should be linked below, but it's youtube.com/user/DotaRaptors. I'll go ahead and be getting a new channel set up here in the next few months, hopefully, that's more Overwatch related. But I'm doing an analysis series there. I'll be uploading my cast there. And you can also check out my Twitter, twitter.com/DotaRaptors. But otherwise, guys, I really appreciate any of you tuning in. I really appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much, Angry Panda. Thank you so much, guys. It was awesome. I can't wait to hopefully get to cast actual tournaments for the upcoming launch, and see you guys out there on the battlefield. We'll go ahead and stop the recording.